work?
I guess so. 1, 2.
Have a drink first.
I will do.
Well, what do you think of doing this kind of stuff?
I'm used to it, believe me, I'm used to it. The first time I came over to Los Angeles, when it all sort of happened, as I said before, I met so many people like this. It was, I'm immune to it now. I go through it all with a sort of, oh well, it must be done, and that's it. I couldn't come down here and say fuck off to both. It's not me. As we went through this before in the interview before, that if I was a Mick Jagger person, I'd just come down here and tell everyone to piss off. But that's not me, and I can't do it. They are a necessary evil, I think. Yeah, that's all.
Carry on, Ezra.
Carry on.
Well, how much are we going to overlap here? What did you go through before? You know, the last thing. We might as well keep that.
Oh, we went through a variety of things, like television programs, and, how Bernie and I got together, which is the stock question after all these meetings.
So we won't ask it.
No, we just went through a lot of things, very sorry. It was quite good, actually. I just said, I wish somebody would attack me, and so I thought you might be a good person to attack me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, as I was saying before, everyone's so nice to me, usually. As I said, the young college kid came into New York, and I didn't know if met him, and I said I'd do this college thing, and he came in and said, I think your music's rubbish. And I really quite appreciated that. We fought hammer and nails through the whole hour and a half, which I spoke to him, and they ended up by sort of going out and buying a couple of my albums. And no, it wasn't like that, but it was, I just wish people write about me in print, but they never have the nerve to say it in front of my face, which is, a bit, if they really have any genuine feelings, they should tell me, because, I respect their point of view.
Yeah. Okay, well, on your latest album, which I reviewed this week...
Friends. It's not my latest album, It's a film soundtrack album, which we were contracted to do before Elton John was ever released. As a film soundtrack album, I think it's probably the best film soundtrack album ever released. Put that down in print.
Do you think it represents you, though?
Yeah. No, it doesn't. It represents what we had to write for the film. Like, the whole story behind the film was they contracted us to do 3 songs, and there's 2 bits in the film where they have a tape recorder sequence for 20 seconds where everyone's leaping up and down, and a radio sequence for 30 seconds, and they say, well, you're going to have to write 2 songs that last for 20 seconds and 30 seconds and put them on the album. I said, well, that's ridiculous. Bernie and I said, we can't do that. And so they said, well, we want 3 songs, this title song. They were going to call the movie The Intimate Game. And Bernie and I said, no, we will not write songs from, and we suggested Friends. So we all settled for Friends. And we had to write another song, which was Michelle's song, and they wanted a song 1 minute and 10. And for film writing, you're supposed to write, if they ask you for a song 1 minute and 10 seconds long, you're supposed to write a song 1 minute and 10 seconds long. You have to time it and all this rubbish. So Buckmaster and we all got together and we were all panicking like mad. And Bernie I said, Bernie, write a song that's very short. And he did, and it was 1 minute and 10 seconds long. I don't know how, by the grace of God, it was 1 minute and 10 seconds. So that was Seasons. And they said, right, we want a soundtrack album. And I said, well, that's awful. Because there's very little music in the film, really. And so we said, well, it's terrible, we've only got 3 songs. You can't put sort of an album together with all that on, just that on it. Usually soundtrack albums, you get bits of motor cars beeping and horses galloping, and they're really cons. So we said, right, if we're going to do this thing with the 20-second and the 30-second song, we'll write 2 songs and we'll re-record the whole album. So we had to record the whole album once for the film. Then we went back into our own studio that we always use and recorded the whole soundtrack album, just as a sort of, so that people would get at least a bit of value for money. They get 5 songs instead of 3 and horses galloping. Yeah. So really, and it was recorded and written in 4 weeks, in between the first time I came to the States, which was a 3-week promotional trip, and my first major tour. So it was recorded in between September and October, in September in fact. And as a soundtrack album, a lot of people, the record company are promoting it as a new Elton John album, which is, and kids probably will think it is a new Elton John album, because it's got Elton John.
The name is bigger than the title of the film.
Yeah, which has pissed me off somewhat, because they said, the guy in London, who's a complete idiot that runs Paramount Records, said that he wanted a really great sleeve, and so the people that produced the film and made the film, we were really great. It was an independently produced film through Paramount, and And they said, right, they took the Tumbleweed Connection sleeve up, and they said to the guy, now, isn't this great? Look, it's got a booklet. We'd like something like this for Friends. They're like the guy who sort of designed it, who's a friend of ours, to do with the Friends. So we were all knocked out. Yeah, we said, great idea. And the guy said it was rubbish. He said, the worst sleeve I've ever seen. He said, wait till we come up. He said, we'll come up with something that will sweep us off the board. And they came up with that strawberry-covered rubbish. And put my name... I can't blame the Paramount record company for putting my name on it in big letters. Because, I mean, probably I would have done it, I don't know. I don't want to get into that anyway. But it's not an Elton John album, believe me. We've been very... the album was gold within 3 weeks. So that's... It's amusing, I'm knocked out. I'm very glad it is a gold record. But it's not an Elton John album. We've got a live album coming out in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Somebody said you wanted that to be coupled with Empty Sky.
I did, yeah. I've had this is hassles the last week. We got two things that have been released in England: the live album and the Empty Sky, which haven't come out here yet or anywhere. And I wanted Empty Sky and the live album to come out for $5.98, both albums. In fact, really, it's paid because all my albums have gone up to $5.98, as I found out. And I want it to be the live album with a free album. Thank you very much, America. This is your free album, Empty Sky. And of course, all the hierarchy that I'm concerned with said no. And I get so pissed off with everyone had a different idea. Some wanted the live album to come out in July, which would have been ludicrous because so many people are importing it, and it would have been dead. And other people wanted it not to come out at all, the live album. Some other people wanted Empty Sky to come out for, you wouldn't believe it. So we settled for Empty Sky not to come out yet, and for which is alright. They said it was better for my mystique that it should remain on import. And the live album came out in 3 weeks, and the live album over here is different to the one in England because it's a different mix entirely, a much better mix.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the situation. I'm going to get criticised for that album because everyone will say, oh fuck, another Elton John album. But it has to come out now because it's been released, as I say, and people are playing it like hell over here. So I'm just going to have to face the criticism. It's a bloody good live album. I mean, like, I really could say, I have, I think, oh God, a live album, and then I listen to other people's live albums, and I think, oh, it's pretty good, and what decided me that it was a good live album, I listened to Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, which I was really eagerly awaiting for, and I thought it was a disaster, a total and utter disaster, and I thought, well, we can't go much more wrong than that. I hear that Crosby, Stills, Nash is a gold record before it comes out, or something. It's done $2 million worth of sales. There's two or three really nice things on it, but I think it's an unmitigated disaster, and I thought, well, ours is so much better than that. I mean, it's not fair, to point that out, but that's what decided that it really should come out. That, I don't know what your opinion on the Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young.
I haven't heard it yet. I don't think it's up here yet.
Oh no, that's right. I went to a record shop today, I couldn't believe it. I said to the woman, have you got Brown Sugar by the Rolling Stones? I already have a copy, but I haven't got the B-side. And she said, yes. And then she said no. And she said, she's coming in next week. The woman's ordered 10 of it. So this record shop's ordered 10 singles by the Rolling Stones. I couldn't believe it.
Okay. One of the things that's bothered me, as I sort of maybe hinted at in my review, was that, I have a lot of respect for you as an artist, but then there's also the thing of mystique. Like, Rick and I were probably one of the first people in this area to hear your album, because we got it from MCA, like in the States, before it was released here. And now there's a lot of what you call hype behind you. What do you think of all this? Do you have how do you
I prefer the hype. Yeah, I know there's a lot of hype. I'm over in England and I'm not really aware of what's going on. I have somebody who's trying to control it, one person. And yeah, there's hype, but there's hype with everybody. Record companies, believe me, no matter what record company you're with, they hype you. They're going to try and hype you because all record companies are interested in are making money, and we have a very good relationship with MCA, a really fantastic relationship. I'd rather be hyped in the way I am than to be hyped in the way that Warner Reprise hype their artists, because I think their adverts are so hip, they are utterly revolting. And there's been no new artists to break through on Warner Reprise Kinney Group records that I can think of in the last 2 or 3 years. They just managed to break Gordon Lightfoot, which I thought was tremendous of them. And I think that kind of hype is more revolting. I'd rather be saying, here's the great Elton John, buy him, than, oh, well, fellas, than, do a very clever advert. I'm not into that at all. I think it's just a very snobbish way of saying, listen, we're trying to be hip. And most of the people at Warner Brothers aren't hip. So, as regards, I really don't mind. it's up to me to prove whether I'm worth it or not, or whatever it is. I mean, people have to decide for themselves. They can't. It's wrong for a person to decide that you're a hype just by listening to the adverts. They should go out and buy the records and discover if you're a hype or not, or go and see you live. And if then you fail, if then they've seen you or they've heard your records, they think you're a hype, then that's fair enough. They've had a sort of chance to sort of listen to you. So, but I don't think you can avoid it, can you? I mean, how can you possibly avoid being hyped? It's impossible. I mean, some people don't get hyped enough, like people like David Ackles. They could well do with being hyped about as much as I've been. But once you're successful, they're going to try and get this, as much hype going as possible. And you have to live with that. It's a fact of life.
Just listening. Trying to keep up with you. Not thinking about questions.
Snap.
I'm glad we got an opportunity to talk by it, because I wanted to. I read your article last night. I was quite very, very impressed by it. No, I really liked. There was an article in Rock Mag, not a review of Friends in Rock Magazine, which took about 12 lines and really slated it. And it amused me. Not amused me, but I quite liked. I'd like to meet the person who wrote that review and talk to him, because I get so bored with people saying, "Oh, here we are, Wonder Dog of 1973." No, it amused me. The whole magazine sort of was quite interesting.
Yeah.
I read a lot of sort of those sort of things. Mickey Muzak quite amused me.
That was a step down. It used to be Mickey Music.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It just got that way this week.
I actually heard your song on Muzak the other day and it freaked me out. I think that's it. You have a ride. But I mean, I heard a lot of strange things like Stoned Love on Muzak. It's strange. Yeah. So wait till the Supremes album hits the shops and Rolling Stone reviews that with my sleeve notes. What's this or what's this? What's this? I can see that causing furor. I think it's quite amusing as well. Yeah. I really do like the Supremes. Nobody believes me. How can you possibly like the Supremes?
I like Henry Mancini and nobody believes me.
You like Henry Mancini? I was on the Henry Mancini show in New America about 4 weeks ago. I'm not, it was a special. They just filmed a bit of me playing live and put it on because it's the same agency. So they thought. Oh, Andy Williams was a joke. We hung around LA I wanted to get home. It was the end of the last tour, and I wanted to get home. It was Christmas, and I wanted to get home. We hang around for a week, and we go to rehearsal every day. And they say, right, you do 2 numbers, you pre-record the backtracks, fine. You do a big thing at the end, which was originally started by Andy Williams wanting to do Love the One You're With, which was okay by me.
Yeah.
It was going to be Mama Cass, me, Ray Charles, and Andy Williams. Ray Charles didn't come to... I can't blame Ray Charles. He's probably been through it all before. He didn't come to any of the rehearsals. He didn't want to sing Love the One You're With. So then it was going to be My Sweet Lord. No, he didn't want to sing that. Then it got battled down to Heaven Help Us All. And he didn't want to sing that, but they said, well, you have to sing that or nothing. So we all sang her. Oh, and they cut one of our numbers off. And, we spent all day, and I did the Goodnight Andy bit, and they never showed it, which was a real drag, so I was quite pleased with it.
The one where you sang with it. There was just one cut, and you were at the piano, and that was it.
No, in England we saw the one with Heaven Help Us, everybody at the end. And Mama Cass stood in front of me, which was most annoying. I mean, you just have no chance, that was it. That was my big moment. Mama Cass sort of goes...
Oh, you were lucky. How about when I and Tina Turner were on, and Andy Williams sang with her?
Oh, a lot of people put in... I got a lot of respect for him. For a start, he is... Exactly, he was very nice to me, which is probably his image. But he was really trying to think of all these sort of... He was really more aware of things than I thought he was. He was reading off all these sort of albums that he wanted to choose things off to sing. And, the guy could still be singing On the Street Where You Live. He makes an effort, and he does send himself up, which I like.
I think he produced the latest Everly Brothers album.
No, on the Barnaby label. Those things are, I think... on the Warner Brothers thing.
I'm sure he had something to do with it.
You just fell out.
No, I mean, you can be a Tony Bennett. I mean, I've got no respect for people like Tony Bennett because they're just bores. Andy Williams has got a very pleasant voice. He sends himself up.
No, I don't dislike him.
I mean, I wouldn't watch his show by choice, but the guy's aware of, at least he's aware of what's going on, and he has a lot of quite good guests on his show. I mean, like Ike and Tina Turner and Smokey and people like that, and me. And Mama, no. That was the last and first time on the Andy Williams show. No, it was it was 4 days of hanging around when I wanted to get home. That was why I probably remember it with bad feelings.
Yeah.
What other interesting things?
How do you like Canada, Elton John?
I don't know. I was pissed with rain all day. Excuse me. It's very fresh. I mean, the first thing I noticed when I got off the phone was the air was fresh. So, I mean, it really was. It was cold, but it smelled like England.
Oh yeah.
And I was really pleased. And Elizabeth's on the coins, isn't she? I mean, there you go. And it seems English, this place. It really, that could change, yeah. But I mean, it does seem English to me, and that really is nice. Some people in the hotel are English, and you get so fed up with people saying, "What kind of dressing do you want on your palette?" that it really is. And we have so many hassles with long hair and everything.
Oh really?
Yeah. See, I took my wig off this evening.
Oh.
No, I just had my hair cut. But I mean, like, even with short hair, I get terrible hassles. I don't know why. I had my hair cut because it was in a terrible condition. I was going to Hawaii and I was going to swim every day. If I had to drive, it was really the longest it's ever been down there. And I just couldn't cope with it anymore. But what does it mean? Rubbish. I'll have a dyed tartan tomorrow.
Well.
Guys here, tartan.
Well, Elton John, what's coming up for you in the way of albums?
I have a live one with Mae West coming up in 4 years' time. If we can both get on the same microphone. Here, she's put on a little weight. There's a new album coming out. I hope there's going to be this bloody live album. Get that out of the way, and there won't be anything from me for about 6 months. But we'll have an album. By that time, we should have 2 albums ready.
Yeah.
I just don't want there to be anything after the live album for a long time, because I think people are going to criticise the live album coming out, and they are going to get a bit fed up with Elton John being rammed down their throats. I would be. I'm getting fed up with it.
Well, is it being rammed down their throats so much in Britain as in like North America?
It was while no, not in, because there's only one radio station for a start, and so you don't get it rammed down your throat so much, right?
Yeah.
No, the English people sort of reacted to me after I was a success in North America. They sort of, the albums both went zooming up the charts, and the new ones come straight in at 20.
Yeah.
They've been very nice to us, English audiences have been, the English sort of reaction has been very understanding, and we've had more criticism. It's funny that, I mean, you get criticised for different things over there than you do over here, and like the Friends album is going to be criticised more over here, I think. But in England it's got rave reviews, you know, so you win in both territories. I don't mind. You can't please everybody, for Christ's sake. I never intended to say I had to please everybody. I can't believe it's all happened anyway. I can't believe we sold 1 million albums of Elton John. It seems ludicrous. Or because at the time we made it, we were knocked out when it sort of came into the British charts at 47. and you know, it's life's very strange. You know, it's really strange. Yeah. I just try and I don't think it's affected me as a person. I used to be equally outspoken or the same sort of person as I was before it happened. I've seen so much hype, that I've had so much hype and had so many interviews that it's all really gone over my head. And I've been able to handle it because I'm sort of, if I'd have been 17 years old and just fresh out of college, I'd probably been sort of, I just don't want to think about it. But I just, you know, what does it all mean? You know? I'm quite happy the way things are. I'm just happy just to make music. He said, what a great ending to an interview. I'm just happy to make my music, he said. And we left him sitting there crying.
In his spirit.
So tomorrow night is going to be Echoesville at the Agrodome.
It's strictly. We did a mythical commercial for the Agrodome once, which was something like. Get together with the cows, you know. It's a cow.
Oh, they got
pellet.
plastic cows. Yeah. We have a lighting man who comes around with this. It's fantastic. The guy used to work with Phil Maurice, and we hired him because I think lighting is very important. And he said he just couldn't believe it. He went there today and saw all these 8-foot paper mache cows hanging from the ceiling, which I thought is very nice. That appeals to me very much.
Well, that's what it is. It's a place where they hold all the horse shows.
Yeah, cow palace. And he said there was piles of horse manure there.
Yeah, right.
Liberace there, they didn't even cover the floor, and all these dolls in their spiky heel shoes were sinking about 3 inches into the mud floor. It was just ridiculous.
Really?
Dirt floor.
Yeah. Usually they cover it open, but they didn't for him. God knows.
I bet he was annoyed. I like Liberace very much. It appeals to me.
So that was one of
I
the
think
best concerts I've ever been to.
he's just so outrageous. I mean, he's a middle-aged Mick Jagger, that guy. Totally freaks me out.
Yeah.
I'm really into Liberace, he said. Put that in your paper. So what else?
What else?
You must have some more controversy.
Well, speaking about the music, you know, like with the last 3 albums, Quigley and I actually do have copies of Empty Sky, and noticed that that the piano work and the melody line and the rhythms are starting to repeat themselves. And we were wondering, you know, if it's just because you happen to do these albums in a like a relatively short time.
Yeah, this has always amused me, the melody lines, such as what? I mean, this guy in the, as I say in Rock Magazine, said, so-and-so sounds like, he said, what was it, Can I Put You On sounds like Burn Down the Mission. No, not Can I Put You On, something sounds like Honey Roll sounds like Burn Down the Mission, which I thought was vaguely amusing. The guy should be put into an institution.
Well, you got to admit that, like, it's starting to, you know, like, I don't know if it's just because you have a heavily stylized way of playing and you pick it up really easily. Therefore, whenever you keep playing these things, the style comes out. You know, the style is very predominant. But your songs really remind me of each other.
Well, which ones?
Well, I don't know which one's on hand. You know, but that's what I mean with the style thing. You know, it doesn't really make.
I don't know.
Well, that's what I was sort of saying in my review. That like some of the songs on there, you know, like piano-wise, reminded me of. Have a seat. Piano-wise, etc., reminded me of like earlier things, and I just wondered if you were going to branch out into something else, like, you know, maybe cut out the piano and have some, you know, weirdo orchestra or what.
No, well, you see, the numbers that don't need orchestra, need piano on them, we don't usually put on. There's a couple of things I mean, like, you couldn't have had piano on Love Song, which wasn't one of my songs anyway, and you couldn't have had piano on No Shoestrings on Louise, which there wasn't. But not, I mean, there's some numbers that need piano more than others.
No, I was just wondering, you know, like the fact that that it all you know did happen, you know, in a relatively short space of time, you know, and you know, if you were composing things all the time instead of having earlier things already written and stuff, that, you know, like that would tend to.
No, because I was saying we really haven't written, all the new songs that we've done are going to be on the next album. Yeah. Elton John and Tumbleweed, all of the songs on both albums were written exactly. We were all written before the albums were recorded. We had 2 albums worth of stuff, and by the time the next 2 albums come out, we'll have 2 albums worth of stuff. So I can see that you must repeat yourself in a way. A lot of people, I don't know. I suppose I always defend myself, which is pretty natural.
Yeah.
I know what you mean about the beat. I was sort of like that. I don't know. A lot of our songs.
And just like the sort of bum 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 bum, that sort of riff, you know. Pops up a lot.
Oh, I like that. But then you listen to a lot of Leon Russell stuff, who's my idol, and I won't have a word said against him. A lot of his piano playing sounds, it's just a style I've got into. I hope I can branch out a bit then. That's got me worried now.
Yeah.
No, you know.
You're going to start playing Schoenberg riffs inside.
Yeah, it's just a style you get into. I mean, I copied Leon Russell, and that was it.
Yeah.
I did, you know, I heard the Delaney and Bonnie album on Elektra, and I just went through the roof. I thought, I nearly retired at that point. I thought, there's not much point in playing anymore. And the first time I ever met him, he was in the front row of the Troubadour in Los Angeles. The second night we were there, and I thought, oh no, I was great when I was playing. The last number, and I saw this great, I mean, just the most incredible looking person in the world. And I saw him there, and my knees went, and he invited me up to his house, and I thought, he's going to invite me up there, he's going to tie me to a chair and whip me and say, this is how to play the piano. And I was really scared. I'm never scared of meeting anyone. I met Dylan and everybody, and I really haven't given a fuck. Excuse me, pardon my French.
I'll cut that out.
Good, cut the French out, yes. This is the western part of Canada.
Right.
But I was petrified of meeting him, but he's so sweet. Really great. A lot of people have got the wrong idea. Interviewers think he's a big moody so-and-so because he doesn't say anything. But that's Leon. He just doesn't say anything. He just sits there and goes, yo.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. I grant you that some of them might sound the same, but I really can't say which. If they do, that's very perceptive. I really can't tell because I never listen to my own things. Perhaps I should.
Yeah. Tell me, Elton John, for all the classical fans out there, what are your favorite classical composers?
Tchaikovsky and Sibelius.
Are you being esoteric?
No, I probably are. I'm not into sort of. I really like Tchaikovsky. I'm a great romanticist as well. I like Tchaikovsky. I like Dvorak as well.
Oh yeah.
I'm not really into Mozart. It's a bit too twiddly for me. But I like Bach play. The only Bach things I really like are organ things. You know, I sit through all these Virgil Fox albums and through headphones are amazing. But If I really play it, I like the only reason I said Tchaikovsky is that I'm very influenced because I just seen a film called The Music Lovers, which was about his life.
Yeah.
Is it come here yet?
It's been here.
I think it's the most amazing film I've ever seen. I've seen it about 8,000 times. The music is just cool. I mean, it's a drag that he's so popular because the music's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone says the 1812, and it's become nobody will now buy an 1812 record because it's the classical record that everybody has. But it's just amazing.
Yeah, they played that here last night.
What, the 1812?
Yeah.
Beautiful, unbelievable. The guy was a genius. I like Stravinsky as well. He died last week. What was it he was playing? No, he was. I like sort of those. I like sort of lyrical composers, and I think Sibelius and Stravinsky are really great. And they were some of my best friends were Sibelius. And I'm into sort of. I love Terry Riley. I don't know if you heard of Terry Riley.
He's got a new album.
Yeah, Church of Anthrax with John Cale.
Right.
And he's only ever had one album released. That's the only album released in England. But Rainbow in Curved Air.
Hasn't In-Steve been released there?
No. You're joking. I've got them all on it. I never buy English records anyway. I always wait for the American ones to come out. They have tougher sleeves, you see. Yeah. I don't go for the laminated rubbish. Rainbow in Curved Air was just beautiful. Really great. I really love it. I like Turkish street music as well and things like that. There's no end to what I like. No, I really do. And you put it on and you really... There's a woman singer, an Indian singer called Subbalakshmi, who records the World Pacific.
How do you spell that?
Subbal, Subal, AKSHMI, Subbalakshmi.
Okay.
On World Pacific. And if you get hold of any of her albums, I've got about 4. She is amazing. You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't think things were possible with a human voice like that. And Dionne Warwick's very good.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. I think we better wrap this up very shortly. If not
it's getting
sooner.
a bit cold.
Do you have any final questions, Tricky Rick?
No.
Tricky Rick.
It sounds like a top 40 DJ.
It is. That's why we've done a thing called Radio HYPE.
Oh.
We have a mythical radio station, and we're the two disc
Tricky
jockeys.
Rick, Tricky Mick. Tricky Mick and
He's
Tricky
the
Rick.
FM disc jockey, and I'm the AM disc jockey.
The FM disc jockey talks like a... I'm gonna get on some
the FM,
Stone, Elton John here, far out.
Yeah, it's you're perfectly right. FM disc jockeys always speak like that. They would say, "Wow, that's really beautiful."
Oh yeah.
And now we have some Carole King. Where I am saying, "Hi there, that was Stevie Wonder. We can work it out on the bus stop 40 there."
Groovy.
Very groovy. They all have the same voice, you know. They would go to the same school, I think. Hi there.
Yeah, right.
And the FM ones always try and sound stoned.
Yeah.
And you go and visit the radio stations, they're all 88-year-old people with beards going, hi there.
You just can't talk any faster, that's the problem.
It's all a laugh, isn't it? I mean, that's what it is, it's just a laugh. I think it's amazing.
Snap. Okay.
As Frank Zappa would say.
Yeah, it's the best thing in the world. You know, the greatest high in the whole world is to just sit down and just kill yourself laughing. It's God's natural high. Apart from other things.